Congresswoman, as the only person on this panel that's actually given one of these speeches, your thoughts on clearly very different approaches?
Yeah, I mean, I think Stevens was talking to Democratic voters who know where they are on things like abortion, on things like voters' rights. I think the strongest part of El Sayed's speech was when he was talking to the purple voter, the voter who might be considering Mike Rogers. And he's saying, listen, Mike Rogers, the rent's too high. Mike Rogers, you can't afford to put food on the table for your kids. Mike Rogers, not a brighter future for America. So I think that opening part of El Sayed's speech, where he's talking to purple voters and really tried to say to people who might be considering Mike Rogers, come on in. And in a way, what Stevens was just saying is, listen, if you're basically okay with core Democratic stuff, voting rights, for example, things some Republicans used to even support, abortion rights, come on in and vote for us. So I think they were talking to different people.
From a strategy perspective, Matt, which one made more sense?
Clearly, the first speaker, she was Haley Stevens was excellent. I think that, well, one, she was short. I think that she was very focused. She created a nice contrast. Mike Rogers equals Donald Trump equals my opponent. The second speaker, Dr. El Sayed, I mean, look, the guy loves to hear himself talk. Yeah. He's a dynamic speaker, but I don't know if the purple voter, and certainly no Republican voter, is going to talk about a movement. I mean, he is catering to the extreme left of the Democratic Party.
And look, it's a different vision. I mean, he is very much in that Bernie Sanders constellation kind of vision of politics, that you're going to inspire this movement to transform the country, transform the electorate. Implicit in that is that there's this vast pool of non-voters that you're going to inspire. I mean, that has really proved very difficult to do, very hard to do. And I thought that, she was just basically, we're going to win this election.
Yes.
We're not going to transform the country. We're we're going to get more votes than Mike Rogers in November, and we're going to have one less votes for Republicans, and therefore we can restore the ACA subsidies. Yeah. It's just kind of there's a grandiosity in the presentation of kind of the El Sayed and many of the Bernie-style candidates. And that's what they think they can do.
Well, as you were speaking, we got even more new numbers, and it got even closer. So Haley Stevens continues to make up that margin. And one thing you pointed out, Congresswoman, as we were watching that was interesting, was that during El Sayed's speech, we kept seeing presumably his digital director
100%
standing in the camera shot, getting great hero shots of him from behind. Now, the old school way of doing this, you're more focused on the TV cameras in front, because that's the audience, how they get information. So you would never do that. You'd be fired for doing something like that. For his campaign, it's a plus.
Yeah, well, and I mean, he was up there alone, which also put the focus squarely on him. And she did the kind of more traditional thing of surrounding herself with two currently elected, Debbie Stabenow, right, former senator, with Hillary Schulten, sitting congresswoman. She grabs Schulten's kids and is like, look, I care about the future. It just was, I think, very, very different styles.
Content creation is key. I mean, the guys behind, the camera moves a little bit. It's very edgy. They're going to be quick clips that are going to highlight certain key phrases. That's the new way.
Look, and there are benefits to it, right? I mean, he excites a lot of young people. Look at Ann Arbor. I mean, that county, how big. But, there are a lot of, in all of these states, these are older states. They're heavily non-college states. There are not a lot of people who are watching edgy videos. And ultimately, you may not have to win non-college whites to win Michigan as a Democrat anymore, but you got to stay competitive. And that's going to be a big challenge for him if he ultimately is the nominee.
Older people vote.
Well, and I will say, though,
real quickly,
the electorate is younger in the general, and it's bigger in the general. So I will say, I think, to your point, Sayed was talking to an electorate that I'm not sure is tuning in on Democratic primary night.
Yeah, but they might be watching his social media tomorrow.
That's right.
All right, more with you guys and more from Michigan when we come back. Our special coverage, Election Night in America, continues, and it seems like every other minute we're getting new numbers, so stay with us.